Funding for Husker Volleyball on NET was provided in part by Nebraska Soybean Board, by U.S. Bank, Pizza Hut, and by Education Quest Foundation. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors for all they do. We couldn't do it without you. Bob Devaney Sports Center, the home for this second round match between Oregon and Nebraska. There is history here. Huskers lead the all-time series 2-1, but it was a big one last year. Oregon in 4, 25-17 in the fourth. This was obviously at the Quest Center. Nebraska at home in front of a huge crowd, and Oregon knocked the Huskers out of the tournament. That has not been lost on this Husker squad over the last couple of days. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. We'll begin with the Ducks. Plum is their All-American sitter. She's the reigning Pac-12 setter of the year. Brenner is an All-American, and she is a tough one. Bettendorf and Finley, the other outsides. Williams and Warner, the middles, and Amanda Benson is a tremendous freshman libero. Nebraska has one of those as well. Here's the head coach for the Oregon Ducks, familiar to Big 12 country, Jim Moore. Previously coached at Texas and Kansas State and has a terrific record with the Oregon Ducks. That's a look then at the Ducks, who finished 4th in the Pac-10. Now to Nebraska. The starting lineups: Mary Pohlmiller, the Ralston twins at the outside, along with the All-Big Ten Player of the Year, Kelsey Robinson, Cece Hall, and Megan Haggerty are your middles. And there's Nebraska's freshman libero out of California, Justine Wong-Orantes. John Cook, head coach of the Huskers in his 14th season, a sparkling 4-11 and 47 record at Nebraska, a 90% winning percentage. We're expecting a great one here tonight. We got athletes on both sides. As we put together the bios for tonight, Kathy, it was just stellar performance and bio after another for both teams.
Absolutely.
Well, look who advanced. This two will be coming to Nebraska in the regional final. So Texas has already advanced. American in straight sets knocks off Duke. So we know back here in Lincoln next week, Texas and American are all ready. They punched their ticket. San Diego, Arizona late tonight, Central Time 9. And then Oregon, Nebraska right now. So waiting to see who the Huskers will face later tonight, should Nebraska advance past Oregon this evening.
And again, that opportunity for, if Nebraska advances, that Big 12 matchup between Texas and Nebraska will be something they'd look forward to.
And those are your officials for tonight. So it should be a good one. The Ducks come in 20-11 overall. At one point, Oregon was 7-8 inside their conference. They went on a run to get back to a winning percentage, finishing 4th in the Pac-10, or I'm sorry, Pac-12 now. And as we said, this is a team that has not beaten a top 10 team, although the way they've been playing lately with wins over Cal, it's a team that continues to get better.
And they're very athletic. They're a well-coached team, and again, they know how to compete when they get to this level. So this should be a great matchup for us tonight.
Right away, they go to Brenner. Brenner did not get a touch. She's calling for it. No touch. First swing from Brenner is long. Now, Brenner really struggled last year. Nebraska did a terrific job on her up in Omaha. Thought she might be a little motivated tonight. Absolutely,
and again, she is a gamer. She is a player who's had 15 double-doubles this season. She's been a major producer on this squad, and again, in a big game, she's going to play big. They give it to her again, and she finds the back line, killed by Liz Brenner. We will call the name frequently. They are not afraid to dish it to her all night long. And with good reason. Again, she's continued to improve. She's been strong all season, but her efficiency has continued to grow also as the season's gone along. One thing to watch out of Oregon tonight as that hits the back line on the kill by Rolfson. Another thing to watch tonight that will be an important key is how well does Oregon serve. In the matches they've struggled this year, they have not served well. And they came out last night and served very well. That was one of the coach made the point that, again, we serve tough, and it really challenged Miami. We'll see what happens tonight. Run the quick middle. She'll be effective as well. Warner in the middle, very quick. You're going to see that quick transition. Oregon likes to run a fast tempo offense, so it's going to be out of the setter's hands, and look how quick that attack comes off that middle. Two middles are Williams and Warner for the Ducks, and both are effective. They both hit for a terrific percentage. Cece Hall in the middle, little joust at the net, pushed outside. Little turn that over, and Bettendorf with her first kill of the night, the sophomore out of Portland, Oregon. Martine Bettendorf has done a nice job again, really stepping in and playing strong in that opposite outside position of Brenner.
Brenner now to serve. Floater that gets in on Hall. Not much to do but throw it out to the right. This goes back to Bettendorf, who powers through again, and Bettendorf with back-to-back kills.
Bettendorf using that outside hand of Ralston. She's got a blocker up there, but she takes there and drives hard at that outside hand.
As yet, Oregon has not gone opposite yet.
Right.
Quick attack in the middle, and they pushed everything out to the pin on the left side. Service error there, something to keep an eye on. And service errors begin to creep up for Oregon.
And Nebraska has had that issue as well this year. So again, both teams it'll be critical piece for their performance tonight. Good
pancake by Pohlmiller out to Rolfson. Brenner keeps it up. Brenner runs back in, takes a swipe across her body and inside the line. What a shot and athletic hit by Brenner.
Brenner is such a great athlete out there on the court. You're really going to see her make some strong moves, some strong plays in situations that are very challenging.
Robinson, the solo block thrown up on Robinson, and she's shut down.
Finley up there. Fielded up tight.
This Nebraska crowd trying to get them back in. Here's the serve by Amanda Benson, the freshman. One-on-one swing. Great hustle and great up by Oregon. One of the top teams in the nation at digging. And Benson gets at him. Brenner out of the back, rolls it into the net.
I love that defense pursuing. Finley runs all the way to the bench. There's that never quit mentality, and again, that's what creates opportunities to score.
Oregon number 2 in the Pac-12 in digs per set, number 11 in the nation. As you look at Brenna Lyles, Lyles' serve would have been long, but saved. Who knows? Maybe Bettendorf just wanted to swing at it, and she delivers the kill. So the pass from Bettendorf, they went right back to her, and she delivered. 7-4 early on. Now Ashen back to serve. Chelsea Ashen. 5'10" junior setter out of Miguel, California. On the slide. Walked back, kept alive. Robinson got a good swing on it. Pushed into the pin. Williams never had an opportunity to get a hand on it. So here are Robinson's numbers on the season. Ty Williams on the slide. Rolfson there with the roof. Good up. Nebraska kept it alive, but
left called.
Two hits. Into the game now, Tatum Norton, 5'6" sophomore DS out of California. One of the #1 priorities of Jim Moore when he took over this Oregon program 7 years ago was he said he had to recruit.
And again, he's known for, taking programs and building them and developing a program.
Finally, a ball that Rolfson was able to unload on. Back in now is Alexa Etheridge to serve for Nebraska.
And in this situation, you can see the blocker. She had a one-on-one situation. Kelsey Robinson, they've been committing, making sure there was 2 on here. Now there is a little freeing up on the outside that might allow Katie to be more effective.
Good serve by Etheridge. They'll push it outside. Robinson with the dig off the swing from Brenner. Robinson tries to roll it in, kept alive on the push back. And a kill for the Ducks.
Williams just again responding quickly and being aggressive up at the net.
There's Jim Moore. Williams with terrific numbers from that middle blocker spot. Averages better than 3 kills per set, hitting over, nearly 350. Back row, Williams rolls it over. Williams there, and then blocked by C.C. Hall.
Nebraska, the ball had to go to the outside. They had 2 blockers up there ready and solid.
9-7, Oregon on top. Powerful swing by Liz Brenner, and then you can just feel the quiet come up in this crowd when she unloaded.
And again, she's just a strong power hitter up in the net. They use her different places there. You saw her, they brought her around and crossed her into the middle from that right side position.
Already with 6 swings for Brenner, 3 errors and 3 kills. She's hitting 0.
Great swing there by C.C. Hall. One-on-one matchup. She takes and turns hard and cuts it back to the center, the right side.
Katie Ralston now to serve. Katie all Big Ten this year, first team in her freshman year. They run Brenner behind another. Good offensive play. Brenner with the kill.
And they'll run that quick, so they'll show one quick right behind the setter, and then a second one coming behind. So you've got to be balanced and you can make decisions on your blocking scheme.
Good tight first set here. Robinson pounds away, but Benson there to get it up. Middle again, Benson again. Boy, she's been tough. And the block right at the net.
Amber Ralston does a nice job delaying. Brenner was taking that attack from behind the 10-foot line. Ralston stays in, waits. Good timing there is the key.
Pass. Miller chases it down. Again, Benson gets that up. Miller, quick middle, block back. Haggerty didn't finish. Twist away, into the net, called on Oregon.
And just Nebraska in that rally, just very persistent in pursuing. Just again, a strong attack, getting the attack off every time, being aggressive.
Solo. Good job by Ralston. They'll go right back to her. She tries line, swings wide.
Ball was a little inside, and again, she could feel the block in, was working hard to get that line.
So here's Amanda Benson now to serve. And the service error by the freshman. I don't know, we're kind of a fan of Amanda Benson, aren't we, Kathy?
Yes.
We were down on the floor in pregame, and Amanda was digging balls and saving us.
Yep, they were doing their warm-up real close to us as we're doing the open, and she saved many balls.
Right, she got a little chatty with us.
From the back of the head. Yep, enjoy that.
On the serve receive, okay to double hit. Outside, pounded away by Robinson. And Nebraska's evened it up, and that brings the crowd to their feet here in Lincoln. Nebraska serving a bit tougher tonight.
Really driving the ball, pushing the serve receive back.
Great on the second touch, put down. Kill by Miller.
Miller does it so quick. She goes up. The defense, again, is on the edges of the court, but it's the quick delivery. That's the key.
So Nebraska on a bit of a run. Huskers trailed by 3 at one point, now back up by 1. 13-12. Huskers leading here in set number 1. Back at the Devaney Sports Center, a couple of Huskers, former Huskers looking on. Brooke Delano to the left, Jordan Wilberger-Sauer to the right. We're going to be talking with Brooke Delano at the intermission. Talked about what she remembers from her days of being a Husker here at, well, I guess it wasn't here, but it was at the Nebraska Coliseum at the time. Still set number 1, Nebraska in the middle of a 4-1 run. Let's see if Jim Moore gets what he wanted out of the timeout. He gets the roll shot, no touch and long. That's not what he wanted. 5-1, Nebraska run.
Tough serving right now. That's the key. They're really driving that ball out at Oregon. And of course I cursed that. Sorry.
Brenna Lyles into the net.
Mine. But again, we've seen some attacking errors also again on Oregon. That's the 5th error. Actually, Liz Brenner, has 4. And that's also a key.
Robinson dug by Benson. On the slide, Williams blocked back, but kept alive.
Coverage.
What? Yeah. Right in the middle, nobody there. Vacant, and Pohlmiller found the spot, and it was put down.
Just great decision. Pohlmiller reading what the blocking scheme across the net was. And Haggerty's up there. That quick transition, she's got nobody.
Jump serve into the net. Back-to-back service errors by Nebraska. Here's Tatum Norton back in. Norton, 16 aces on the season, 3rd on the team. Good pass right on spot. They'll send it outside. And Rolfson pounds it down quite confidently, I might add.
Absolutely. Katie Rolfson goes up hard and makes a statement there. She's got a little bit of smaller blocker on the outside there with Plum and really trying to take advantage of that.
Alexa Etheridge now into serve for Nebraska. Takes that long, boy, did that float. Good dig by Robinson. Outside Rolfson again, the roll shot that time.
Plum's really having to pursue hard on balls. Brenner there does a nice job. The ball's going to her on the outside. Blockers were there, so she makes a smart shot.
(16-15). Oregon has responded out of that timeout. Ariana Williams now to serve. Williams is senior. Rolfson dug. Brenner didn't get it down. Sent back out to Brenner again. That's Pohlmiller with the block.
One-on-one with Brenner. And again, that ball pops right up to Plum. She fired it on out. But Pohlmiller right there to stop her.
All-American hitter, an All-American setter. Pohlmiller got the best that time. 3 service errors for Nebraska. And so just when we were commenting on how well they had been serving, suddenly the old bugaboo rearing its ugly head. 3-2. Nebraska leads in the category you do not want to lead in. Service errors. That's a nifty shot by Rolfson.
Great sharp decision, really taking that again. A lot of wrist snap, taking it pretty much parallel to that. Look at that rotation, that thumb up. Great shot.
On those, you have to almost hit the outside half, outside quarter of the ball. It just takes.
Yeah, you take the hand and you rotate it around. Again, you kind of, if you notice, the thumb rolls up and puts that spin on it.
Triple block thrown up. Fans thought it was down, but that's what this Oregon defense will do to you. Pounded from the back row, Rolfson into the net.
A little bit in far in front. She's really trying to accelerate to get to the ball.
18-17 now, Nebraska. Huskers out hitting Oregon right now, 200 to 111. So neither team tearing it up offensively. Into the double block.
Bettendorf again met up with that double block up there. The ball is a little bit inside, so blockers didn't have a lot to move. They were just ready to go up and be strong.
Right now, Nebraska owning the roof game. They're on top 4-1 in blocks. They go behind. First time we've seen that. Good decision. Block was there, but got outside it.
Nice swing there by Finley. Just again, well executed, firing down the line.
Haggerty called for it.
Big quick swing. She's in that one-on-one matchup. You can see here she's got room to swing. (2018) Nebraska first to 20. Pushed outside. 5.
5 blocks for Nebraska in set number 1. That's a big one from Haggerty. Gives Nebraska a 3-point lead.
And you're right, the block has made a huge impact in set number 1.
Timeout called by the Ducks and Jim Moore. Huskers 4 away from set number 1. 18 as we near the end of set number 1. I want to remind you, you can watch NET Sports anytime, anywhere. All you have to do is download the free NET Nebraska app. You can do that today. Watch college player profiles, full-length episodes from Big Red Wrap-Up. A lot available on the NET Nebraska app. Search for NET Nebraska in the App Store or download it free at that address right there, netnebraska.org/apps.
Serving for Nebraska, Brenna Wiles.
Little tip on the outside by Martine Bettendorf, and Bettendorf with her 3rd kill of set number 1. She's been effective when she's been in the front row.
Right, she's really been their most effective attacker. That's her 4th kill, and again, she's the player who is making a difference on that outside.
So good timeout for Jim Moore. Got the side out and the point. Now Nebraska will try to return. Robinson rolled over. Great up. With Warner diving to the belly to keep it alive. Make it Ashen in the back row. That's the swing.
Yep.
And Oregon in the net. Nebraska now 3 away. Robinson with the jump serve. A little more controlled jump serve. Good decision. Tried the 2-ball. Nebraska had coverage. Rolfson pounds it off the hands. Gets the tool and the kill.
Katie Rolfson has really got the hot hand right now for the Huskers. That's her 5th kill. She's hitting right around 400 at this time. Big swing there.
What a set, right on the pin.
Yep.
Going away and turned it.
And the tempo, again, that's the key, the fast pace to that outside.
Lauren Plum, one of the outstanding setters in the nation. And now to serve is Natalie Bookout-Gonzalez. Pass on spot on the slide. Goes line and wide. Was a big point there. Nebraska won it. Now back-to-back points in within 2, and John Cook will take a quick timeout. So these are the moments in matches that we've seen recently with Nebraska and a young team in which they've struggled. So let's just rewind 1 week ago tonight, the Penn State match that Nebraska lost at home. They win set number 1, lose set number 2, and then in sets 3 and 4, in sets 3 and 4, Nebraska was up 23-20. As we're going to jump back and take a look, here's some highlights from 1 week ago tonight on Saturday. Nebraska was up in sets 3 and 4, both of them 23-20. And in both instances, Penn State went on a 6-1 run and won them 26-24. You know that's on John Cook's mind.
Absolutely.
As he was up 23-20 and saw Oregon score a point.
Absolutely, and again, the key is going to be what did they learn from that situation, and what did they talk about this week as they got into this, again, experiencing that and drawing from that, and what do we need to do right now? That's the mental piece, as you said, with a young team. You can't breathe. You're at that level now in point in your season where you can't pause. Otherwise, the opponent's going to take those and run.
Well, when you get into great games against great competition, which you're going to see from this point on, it's the end of the match. It's the end of those sets that are going to make the difference.
Absolutely.
You're going to get to 20 at about the same time. Who's going to finish those last 5 points? That's what will make the difference.
Really, who's going to blink first, kind of? Who's going to stay with it? Who's going to have that moxie, that grit?
Here's Bookout-Gonzalez to serve. Tough serve. And it'll be free-balled over for Oregon. They push it outside. Why wouldn't you go to Brenner? She delivers. And Brenner pulls them to within one, 23-22.
Brenner's 6th kill, but she's only hitting 59, so she's well below her normal average.
Oregon has their power up front. Rolfson. Boy, what a great up. Gonzalez with that up. Pohlmiller. Smart dump. Everybody sitting back, donut wide open, and in a key situation at 23-22, the junior setter not afraid to put it down.
And where she's sitting, she's got 2 blockers giving her the space. She's reading that. They're not staying on her.
Set point number 1 for the Huskers. Williams blocked. They've got power up front. Brenner there. Williams there. Big block on the outside. Pohlmiller again. Twice in set number 1, the setter comes up big with the block on Brenner. And that delivers set number 1 to Nebraska. Same situation we saw 1 year ago in Omaha. Nebraska on top of Oregon in the postseason, 1-0. Funding for Husker Volleyball on NET was provided in part by Nebraska Soybean Board, by U.S. Bank, Pizza Hut, and by Education Quest Foundation. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors for all they do. We couldn't do it without you. So Nebraska, in an outstanding set number 1, in particular by Mary Pohlmiller, has led the Huskers to a 1-0 lead. Let's look at her play.
She just made some great decisions out on the court. The blockers are not validating, and they're staying off the edges of her. She's got a wide lane there to swing, but she's in front row. But the block, she's come up with 2 huge blocks in set number 1 and made a difference. Nebraska out blocking Oregon 6-1.
She seems to bring that quiet intensity to this team. Like, in big moments, she becomes ultra-focused and ultra-intense. You wouldn't know that by looking at her, but she's a fiery competitor.
Yep, she just turns things up a little bit, and as your setter running the show, you want to have that.
Let's take a look at statistics from set number 1.
As we mentioned, the block is the key as you look down the stretch there. Again, the hitting percentage, 231 to 100. Really, Oregon has had some big swings, but they've also had several errors, and that block factors into that, obviously.
So Nebraska finishes set number 1, wins it 25-22. And there are the numbers for Mary Pohlmiller. The other stat of note, Kathy, we told you that Liz Brenner would see a lot of attacks. She'd have a lot of sets coming her way. In set number 1 alone, she had 18 attacks.
Yes, and so balls are going, they're being set to her. She has 6 kills, 6 there, so she's hitting a 0%, and Nebraska really controlling her right now, and that's what they wanted to do as they come into this match, knowing that she can take over. And I anticipate her to, again, make some, as you see her numbers here on the screen.
She's just an outstanding athlete. Not only is she a volleyball player, but as soon as the volleyball season is done for Oregon, she trots over and plays basketball for the women's basketball team. Last year, it took her a couple of weeks to adjust, but she ended up playing about 30 minutes a game, averaging 9 points, 9 rebounds. And then, oh, by the way, she went out for track later on. And in her first year of throwing the javelin, Liz Brenner was an All-American, finished 8th in the country in her first year of throwing it.
So we're talking a true athlete here.
Just gifted. Big solo block, Cecilia Hall shuts down Serena Warner.
Right now, you've just got to say the block is the key, making the difference.
Pohlmiller now back to serve. Tough serve. Brenner fires away, and Brenner has a kill.
Fast tempo, really, that ball. She pushed quick to the outside, but also, again, she puts a lot of acceleration with her swing on the ball.
She led the Pac-12 in kills per set, 4.5. But what's more impressive is when she got into the extremely difficult Pac-12 conference, she upped her game and averaged 4.97, nearly 5 kills per set in the Pac-12.
And that's the kind of player athlete she is.
Yeah.
And again, she's intense, she's driven, she's out there, she's going to compete.
Rolfson. That time it was Amber Rolfson with the kill. Amber had 7 kills last night against Fairfield.
And she just drives that ball underneath the blocker's arms.
Now back to serve. Here's Katie Rolfson. Folks who haven't watched Nebraska play much this year throughout the season, it's really an entirely new team than that team that lost last year to Oregon. And you figure Miller was brought in as a transfer from Tennessee, Robinson as a transfer, the 2 Rolfson sisters, both freshmen, they're twins, new to the team. Justine Wong-Orantes, who's on the floor as the starting libero, she's new. So it really is an entirely different look.
So these players that did not really experience that loss last year to Oregon, and so they've heard it from some of the other players that are on the team, but the ones that are on the floor right now really don't know anything about that other than what they've heard.
Nebraska last year in the match with Oregon had 57 kills. 48 of those are no longer with the team or not on the floor, because obviously Morgan Brookhuis was part of the team, had 16 kills in this match last year. She had a terrific evening, but she hasn't been playing much this year. There's Morgan in her senior year.
And I'm sure she shared that experience and shared things with the players who are on the court. Her role is different at this point, and so she's taking that and giving that input to help this team.
Good tip. Rolfson with the kill. From behind there, they run that offense, run one across to the left, another behind. And Brenner, is it Brenner or Bettendorf? Yeah, that was Bettendorf pounding it. So
they bring her around from the outside. They run the middle quick right in front and then bring the outside around to cross. So that middle blocker kind of has to make a decision.
Outside of Robinson. Kicked it out to Bettendorf. Off the top. The dump try. That time Benson is there. Bettendorf again off the top of the block. Rolfson keeps it alive. First outside of Robinson. A little rally here. They go in the middle. Nebraska's block does it again.
The block really, you just can't say enough about it. Their blocking scheme right now, they're making good decisions out on the court, and they're also going up solid and strong, so they're not getting beat back off the net.
On the slide. You can see the hole that she fit it right through Williams. Nebraska just didn't close the block. Williams took advantage.
And it's just a fast-paced attack as well, and so beating the block.
Ariana Williams, 13 kills last year against Nebraska in that regional final. Sent Oregon on to the Final Four, and where Oregon also won then its first Final Four, its semifinal match, and went on to play Texas for a national title. What a treat that must have been for Jim Moore, who you see barking out calls onto the floor. Jim Moore, of course, used to coach Texas back in the 90s. Had a couple of great years. Actually, when he left Texas, he was the winningest coach in Texas history. Not in terms of number of wins, but in terms of percentage. He had really turned that program around, got it headed in the right direction, had some injuries, disagreements with the administration, and Jim Moore was kind of the scapegoat in that situation. He talked about it later. He said, Texas is just a different place. It's pretty political, and that athletic department is running much the same way.
So good move for him personally, and again for the program here.
Great up by Williams. Could not be kept alive by Gonzalez. Rolfson with the kill. (7-7) here in set number 2. Set outside, not much to be done with that.
for the Ducks is Denny Finley, serving Morgan Flames.
So front row right now for Nebraska. Rolfson, C.C. Hall, and Rolfson. Hall in the middle. Kill for C.C. Hall.
Nebraska's middles have been working really hard in transition to try and get up. Haggerty has 3 kills, Hall with 2. They're both Hall hitting at a .500 percentage, Haggerty 250. Just good decisions when to use them by Paul Miller.
Outside, Brenner pounds it down the line right to Wongerantes.
Oregon. In for the Ducks is Joaquin Bettendorf. Brenner the third.
Yep, Wongerantes there, just again, the power of that ball, as you mentioned.
C.C. Hall again, Nebraska more active in the middle right now.
And just reading the block, I credit Paul Miller a lot too, again, making the decisions out on the court, but then the attackers, they're up, they're ready, and they're delivering also, finishing it off.
C.C. Hall, 4 swings, 4 kills. Wing was long there. Rolfson kept it in.
Great shot.
Wow, what a readjustment in the air by Robinson.
Block was pulled in. That defense, so she takes it back across the body to the corner. You can see the release of Plum coming up and the read there by Robinson.
And that's why Robinson is just so tough to defend. So many shots in the arsenal. Wongerantes outside. Rolfson goes line. Benson there. Overpass falls on Oregon side. Nebraska on a 3-1 run. 4-1. Big block in the middle by Haggerty. And Jim Moore off the chair, and he'll take a timeout.
Let's look at that again. Everything's jammed right up there. They think Oregon is thinking quick, quick, quick. But Haggerty quick herself in closing it up.
It looked like Warner had a hole there too.
Yep.
Warner decided to go inside. It looked like maybe line or right down was there.
Yep.
So 12-9, Nebraska on top. Huskers win set number 1, 25-22. We talked about the dominance of Nebraska's block. They lead right now in blocks 9-1. It's been the single stat that has been a tremendous differentiator for Nebraska.
And they've gone up solid. I mean, and that gets in the mind of the attackers, and they're trying to hit around them. They're big blocks. I mean, Nebraska is making good decisions where to go and where to set up, but then they're solid and strong.
For so long, that was Nebraska's brand, but it was part of Nebraska volleyball. It was the roof and the big blocks and the fans, and we're seeing a bit of a resurgence of that tonight.
And that at the beginning of the year was something they were having some trouble with also. They felt like they needed to keep working on that area. They're making errors. We're seeing a lot of net errors early in the season. They've cleaned that up and are stronger than ever.
He forgets we're on TV.
They're having a good time. And speak about roof, here's our sign indicating that the team makes that roof. Longtime Husker fan. That sign has been in the Coliseum and has been now brought over to the Bob Devaney.
Jim Moore's timeout at 12-9 with Nebraska on a 4-1 run. We'll see what happens. Good short serve, pass way off. Not much they can do. Free ball for Nebraska. What an opportunity here. Rolfson sent back over. Robinson almost didn't get there. Rolfson again off the side of the block. Good up by Finley. Down. The block is down off the swing by Bettendorf. 10-1, Nebraska leading in blocks.
10 blocks, and I believe the string continues. Our sign, keep it going, keep it going. The fans are saying.
One-on-one, and Finley gets the kill. So that ends Nebraska's 5-1 run. So here's Amanda Benson, freshman, out of Litchfield Park, Arizona. Good swing by Rolfson. Pulled it across the body. Got the kill.
Nebraska really using that right side attack, and when you got to have a player like Amber Ralston on that right side, why not? And opponents are often focusing on the outside. Nebraska has pin-to-pin action. Well done there by Oregon. I mean, just came and slid around in the gap of the block. See that again? You can see Haggerty went and followed the slide on the backside.
Quick tempo, nobody there.
Great decision also by Plum in her set selection.
One of the things that when John Cook talked about Oregon that he was so impressed with was the pace and the tempo of the offense that they run.
Go fast.
Outside, just off the net. Wong Orantes got it up. Ralston down the line. Benson is there. Overpass. Robinson pounds away.
And does a great job keeping herself out of the net there. That's why she ended up on her backside. Again, making sure she stayed out. Take a big breath.
Yeah. Oh, good try, Wong Orantes. Wow, Wong Orantes saves the dump, and then Miller returns the favor.
Just quick communication and decisions there. Wong Orantes just balanced. You saw she was pinched in a little bit. That's what you got to be doing when you got that front row setter. Great save by Benson.
A little bit of out-of-system schoolyard volleyball here.
Scrappy.
Now Nebraska back in system. Miller with the swing. What? That's not in system.
Now Nebraska gets the free ball.
If they get this, the place goes nuts.
Miller is running the show, folks. She's up there, and that, as you said, that confidence, that quiet confidence.
Crowd on its feet. Wide on the swing from Bettendorf. Nebraska in control. One of the notes that I wrote was when Oregon gets pushed many times, they fall away and out of a game quickly. We're seeing that here. 18-11 Nebraska. Feels like there's unfinished business against specifically this Oregon Duck team. It was the Ducks that knocked Nebraska out of the postseason last year in their home state. Did it in Omaha. That stung a little bit. Nebraska not afraid to talk about it. And, of course, there was another pretty good Nebraska championship team that had a theme of unfinished business back in '94. Boy, was that really 2 decades ago?
Oh, time flies.
And time changes things. 18-11, Nebraska up by 7. Out of the back row, Nebraska's block continues to be consistent. But I tell you, the one thing is that Brenner not being blocked a lot. She hits a heavy enough ball that she, although she's been blocked a couple of times by Miller.
Yeah.
Good heavy ball there. Ricochets out of bounds. Good driving serve. Miller. That's Robinson. Robinson with the kill.
Robinson comes with so much explosiveness and power. She's in that back row. It doesn't feel like she's a back row attack.
Brenner can't handle it, and an ace for Nebraska.
The first ace for either side, actually, I believe, in the match.
Alexa Etheridge with the ace. 19 aces on the season now for Alexa. And Nebraska the first to 20. Brenner pushes it over, and 2 hits called on Brenner.
Just that fast tempo. Plum fired it out there too quick. Brenner was pushed back on that serve receive, and that's what Nebraska is trying to do right now. They're pushing her back, making it harder for her to run that fast tempo to the outside.
On the slide, Williams found that hole again.
Williams is just so smooth. I just love watching her come around behind him. Very smooth. And she split this seam of the block several times already tonight.
As we said, she had 13 kills last year in this match against Nebraska. First round, she had 9 kills at 571. Tonight,
3 kills and at 200. So
Williams again.
Keep pushing that up to make that 4.
Now Williams will take a seat, and Caden Norton back in. Tatum, a 5'6" sophomore. Tough ball for Rolfson to handle. Robinson bump sets behind to Rolfson. Really like watching Lauren Plum set the ball. She's very smooth. It floats out of her hand.
And she's got great body control. I guess that allows her to have that smooth release as well.
Manages misdirection really well. So Nebraska giving up a bit of a run. They'll take a timeout. They lead 21-15 here in the second. There's a look at Mr. and Mrs. Brenner, Liz's mom and dad. Made the trip from Portland, Oregon to watch their daughter play, one of the top volleyball players in the country. And there she is tonight, 10 kills, hitting 111. Tatum Norton with the serve. Out of the timeout, John Cook calls up the freshman out, and Rolfson delivers.
Exactly what John Cook wanted out of that timeout. Stop the run, get the ball back, and push for the final 3.
For the Rolfson twins, along with C.C. Hall in the front row for Nebraska. Run the quick tempo and got the kill. And that was Warner, Serena Warner, the M2 for the Ducks, second middle blocker. She's out of Houston, Texas. Nebraska 3 away, Oregon 6 behind Nebraska. Right now, important for Oregon to get some confidence going into set number 3. You would assume that Nebraska, with just 3 away, would be able to finish this out, but we've assumed other things before.
In the game of volleyball, momentum and focus are critical. Every point.
And Rolfson, Katie with the kill.
They run Katie in that middle there. They cross it up, allow her to read the block and hit off the edges.
Now 2 away, Katie to serve. Little floater. Good pass, pushed outside. Crittenden off the top of the block. Bettendorf got it.
Just that fast tempo there, I believe. That was Finley. They used her on the outside in that rotation there. Trying to use the high hands. That's a great adjustment with the block that they've faced all night.
Lift in the middle. Brenner outside. Finds the floor. That's Martine Bettendorf with the kill. And here come the Ducks, 23-19, not too far away.
Just making some adjustments here and getting some shots.
And if nothing else, they've sent the message, we're not done. So off of the dig and out, kill goes to Nebraska, and the Huskers now at set point in set number 2. outside, the block on the line. It is Robinson with the block, and that closes out set number 2 for the Huskers. So Nebraska, an impressive performance in set number 2, and they lead the Ducks. It's 2-0 as we head to intermission. Back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center in Lincoln, Nebraska, NCAA volleyball between Oregon and Nebraska, round 2, and the dominance continues on the right side of the ledger, especially at the bottom of the ledger.
The blocks is the story of this match so far. Nebraska's block has really made the impact. It's gotten into the heads. We've seen the errors, and again, the hitting percentage correlates to that, but Oregon has not been able to overcome that huge block.
I want to remind you, in January, NET Sports will be bringing you Nebraska women's basketball live from the new Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln. Huskers will be taking the court against the Michigan Wolverines. January 29th, we'll have the tip-off for you at 7 o'clock, and you can catch it statewide on your NET Sports Network, NET1. Thrilled to have you tonight as we bring you NCAA volleyball from the Bob Devaney Sports Center. Dave Heineman in attendance tonight. He is a big Nebraska volleyball fan, and I'm willing to bet he's an NET member.
And when you have the governor of the state here supporting you, why shouldn't everybody else come join in?
Well, let me just say, if he's not a member, he's going to be now, because we just called him out, right?
Yeah, good work.
So set 3 underway here in Lincoln. Round 2 of the NCAA volleyball tournament, and Oregon takes the lead off the kill by Brenner.
Brenner, as we said, going to get a lot of swings, and I'm sure in the break between, there was discussion about how do we deal with the Nebraska block, how do we work around it, how do we use that to our advantage.
Pushed outside, Brenner again. Robinson there that time. Juan Arantes sends the free ball over. Off the top of the block, Oregon on top, 2-zip early. So the tough part here is to continue to find the intensity when you're up 2-0. There's so many times you see a great team, it's better than the other, they'll lose set number 3 and come back and win 4. Now, Nebraska isn't playing just an average team here. They're playing an outstanding Oregon club that was in the national championship match a year ago. Ralphson with the block on Brenner.
Block number 12. And Brenner has experienced it a few times, but it's just been, again, along the net for Nebraska. They've just done a great job of making decisions and being up strong.
Quick set, and they run it right to Williams, who puts it away. They get Warner with the kill.
That quick tempo to the middle, Ducks have seen success with that. They've been going in the gaps and creating those with that quick tempo offense.
Outside, the block rolls along the top of the tape, and the kill for the Ducks. 4-1 Oregon. Off to a quick start here in set number 3. Nebraska has not lost this season after being up 2-0. That goes off the hand of Serena Warner.
So to see how that matchup 1-on-1, Nebraska has really seen some success there out of the middles.
Finley with the swing. 5-2. Now back to serve goes Amanda Benson. Benson, the freshman libero, set an all-time freshman record at Oregon. 473 digs coming into tonight. Big block that time.
Haggerty is able to knock it through.
And it did fall on Oregon's side. Point Nebraska. Now Brenna Lyles in for the Huskers to serve. a driving serve overpass. Pushed over. And a back row block called on Oregon.
And actually, officials are conferring on this.
And Oregon gets the point. So the officials talk it over and get the call. One more look.
They called the back row block.
Well, there was the net violation. Now John Cook will talk about it. The net violation was called on Nebraska. And in the replay we just saw, the net was brushed on the bottom by Oregon. So we might have missed one there. On the slide, Haggerty. Off the hands and wide. Haggerty gets the kill.
Haggerty run that slide around a little bit early, almost a little bit past it, but still finds a way.
Jump serve long. Service error. Nebraska had cleaned that up in set number 2. Bookout Gonzalez back in to serve for the Ducks. Fired away. Rolfson with the kill.
Katie Rolfson really feeling very confident on the outside, and it's paid off for her. She's got 9 kills already, and just, again, very confident as she goes up each time she swings.
On the slide, Williams with the swing and the kill.
Williams' 4th kill.
It's a balanced attack right now from Oregon. Brenner with 11 kills, Bettendorf with 8, Finley with 6, Williams and Warner, the 2 middles, both with 4 kills. Passed by Wong-Orantes, pushed outside. Rolfson rolls it over. Williams got a hand on it, chased down by Ashen. Kept alive, free ball for Nebraska. On the 2, in, right on the line. And Polmiller continues to find success with that second touch.
The defense has made an adjustment. You can see we're pinched in, and good decision there. And Reed.
Polmiller with 5 kills tonight. Hitting .625. Into the net. That was called on the Ducks. So now 8-7. Nebraska down by 1. A bit of a run here. Huskers hitting .364 in this set. Hitting .286 for the match. Oregon hitting .158. Miller drives it in. Rolled to the back. Good one-handed keep alive by Ashen.
Great set there by Plum.
And then Plum got it to Warner, who put the kill down.
You know, Plum, as you mentioned, just she takes balls that are in poor condition and really just knows where she's at on the court and delivers a ball that's in good condition.
Wow, what a swing in the middle by Rolfson.
That cross pattern, they bring her in there, that second one.
I gotta think that other Big Ten coaches are just thinking, oh my, those two are freshmen. Look at this freshman class Nebraska had. Granted, it was ranked as the top in the nation, but with the twins, and you have Melanie Kyle, who's a freshman. Bean, we saw last night, play well, who's a sophomore. Cece Hall as a sophomore. This is just a team that has a tremendous upside. Another solo block. Didn't get down. Robinson tried to keep it alive. Wong-Orantes tried to fire it through the goal. Didn't get it. Brenner now back to serve. And the ace by Brenner. Right off the tape and down.
Those are just a reaction, and Katie Rolfson couldn't get there.
Mom and Dad like that?
That's my girl.
Outside Robinson. Center sets, blocked back, good coverage. And the block by the Huskers. Looking a kill for Rolfson. On the overpass, she puts it down.
Amber just goes up very strong and makes it a strong play there and throws that ball down fast and hard.
Good dig, back row, Rolfson, back over.
Katie Rolfson is doing a great job in the back row, digging a lot of balls.
Robinson had a tight ball to handle, but she put it down.
That's what great players do. They take a ball in a non-ideal, but she just goes up aggressive.
Wow.
Over the top.
Nebraska called into the net.
14 digs, though, by Katie Rolfson. We're talking about her digging balls right now. She's been in this last series to the back row, just doing a tremendous job.
A double-double for Katie, 10 kills, 14 digs. Here in set number 3, Nebraska took sets 1 and 2. Robinson.
Just the tempo ball there. That's what she's so good at, mixing things up, taking the ball, finding a way. The other piece is she keeps that hand so high, so her contact point is high, and then she has the opportunity to do things.
Here's a former high school setter, Brenna Lyles, with the driving serve on the slot. Williams couldn't get it down, punched back. Boy, good touch.
Haggerty just a good decision there. That soft touch. Defense is sucked in. She just takes it to the edges.
Nebraska has evened it at 12, has the feel of set number 1. And pounded out of the back row comes Bettendorf.
In for the Ducks and serving, Jesse Ashton. Returning for the Huskers, Amber Rolfson.
Potent attack up front for the Ducks with both Williams and Bettendorf in the front. Outside, into the antenna. The first bad swing we've seen Bettendorf take in a while. She's been very efficient. She's
done a great job tonight hitting. She's got 10 kills in the match.
And the ace, Kelsey Robinson. Second ace for Nebraska against 2 for Oregon. Off the tape. Good pass. Falls on Nebraska's side. That pass go over.
Plum
touched it.
I think she's right up there. And
gave it a little guidance.
Yep. Made sure went across.
Lauren Plum suffered through injury earlier this year. Missed about 6 weeks with an ankle injury. Push to the back, Paul Miller. On the slide, solo block, Rolfson.
Nebraska block continues to be a factor here.
Well, Nebraska on top, 15-14 here in set number 3. Huskers in control, up 2-1. You're watching NET Sports. Santa hats. Nebraska on top, 15-14 here in set number 3. They lead 2-1, and it has been an outstanding performance for Nebraska offensively, but also defensively. The block has been huge. Nebraska hitting .303 right now for the match, hitting .421 in this set.
They have done a tremendous job, and the block, as we've been talking throughout the match, has really impacted what's happened here so far, because we've had it's been close, it's been tight, but that seems to be the factor.
Oregon called for being in the net. So back to serve now is Etheridge. Miller, little joust at the net. I'll push out to Brenner. Gets a tip on it. Oh, what a shot! And that was intentional.
She totally knew
Absolutely.
what she was doing there, folks.
That is heads-up volleyball by a freshman.
Love it.
She directed it right in the back corner. What a shot by Rolfson. Let's watch that.
Katie has just had a phenomenal night so far. She's already a double-double, but here she's making it. She's got 11 kills, 16 digs. She's played really with authority and confidence out on the court all night long.
Look at that. She knew exactly where she wanted to put it.
It was like she took a peek before she went to that ball and said, "Guess what? I gotcha."
So Nebraska has stretched that lead out to 3 at 17-14. Now 3:05 in the match, hitting percentage. Led, as you said, Kathy, by Rolfson's 11 kills. Robinson has 8. Haggerty with 6. She's had a nice night.
Yep.
Hitting .333. Rolfson and Hall and Pullmiller all with 5 each.
Very balanced.
Very. Well, a good way to connect with NET, your statewide sports network, is by connecting with us on Facebook and Twitter. You can add a comment to our Facebook page or catch up with the latest Nebraska sports information. Just be sure to like NET Sports. Oh, don't forget Big Red Wrap Up. They have a nice Facebook page too as well. Don't want to forget those folks. And join in our discussion on Facebook. It's fast, it's fun, it's easier than ever to be part of your statewide sports network right here on NET Sports. Back to serve now, Alexa Etheridge. Miscommunication, pushes it over right at Pullmiller. Almost 2 touches there. That goes off the top of the tape by Rolfson. Brenner is dug. Back outside Rolfson. Tip. Got it.
Decision making. She's just making great decisions up at the net here. She knows where her defense is and making the shot.
Let's talk about good decisions. How about the decision John Cook made last night to play Kelsey Thien, that outside hitter for Nebraska, most of the night? Give Rolfson, who's been struggling with a little bit sore shoulder and fatigue maybe in a freshman year, first time through college, although she played a ton of club volleyball, so they play every bit as much there. But just to give her a rest in advance of tonight's big match, and Thien stepped up big to her credit, had a terrific outing, but
led the team.
Yeah,
with 8 kills.
Yeah. John Cook will tell you Thien just had a phenomenal week of practice, and that certainly played a part in it, but also the ability to give one of your young, outstanding hitters a rest was helpful as well.
Well, develop your bench, and again, as the tournament goes, that could become a key piece in being able to push forward.
John Cook will take a timeout. Nebraska on top by 2. Small run here by Oregon. John Cook will take the break. We will too. We'll be back with Huskers on top by 2. Funding for Husker Volleyball on NET was provided in part by Nebraska Soybean Board, by U.S. Bank, Pizza Hut, and by Education Quest Foundation. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors for all they do. We couldn't do it without you. There's Jordan Wilberger looking on as her Huskers are leading 2-0. Former middle blocker for Nebraska, from Nebraska. One of those young ladies who no doubt grew up watching Nebraska volleyball on NET. Played a tremendous part in her development as a player.
Absolutely, and there's another young lady somewhere out there.
That's right.
Hoping to have that same opportunity and
She's probably watching us right now in her living room.
Yep.
And saying, that's what I'm going to do someday.
How cool is that?
It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Outside, Rolfson got it. Needed a kill there, they got it.
And who else with the hot hand? Katie Rolfson, her 13th kill. She's hitting .294. She's had a tremendous night.
Miller short serves. Boy, good hustle to get there by Benson. And it couldn't roll it over. Could not get it. Hitting error. Nebraska first to 20.
And that short serve again, and we've talked about how they're controlling what the opponent can do with that short serve. The strategy behind that.
Another great short serve. Had to be pulled out of the net on the bump serve and led to another miss hit. And a fired up Crittenden pounds it to the ground, and now she'll take a seat. (21-17). Back to serve now, Mary Pohl Miller. Driving to the back, tough one to handle. Makes Plum chase it down, tipped over. Nebraska with another great opportunity. On the second touch, Wong Orantes, the freshman, puts it down. Oh, what a play. And a timeout called by Oregon head coach Jim Moore. And this crowd is explosive tonight here at the Devaney Sports Center. 8,000 strong here at the Devaney Center. The 198th consecutive sellout in Nebraska volleyball. Well, Jim Moore brought his Ducks into Nebraska knowing this was going to be a challenge. Knowing that Nebraska would remember what happened last year when the Huskers and Ducks met up in Omaha at the Quest Center regional final. Winner moves on to the Final Four, and the Oregon Ducks took Nebraska down in 3 in an upset win, but Oregon proved to be one of the top teams in the country as they went on to win their semifinal, make it to the finals, and eventually losing to Texas, which won the national title last year. What's different for this team, Oregon, than last year? Well, they lose Elena Bergstrom. And Bergstrom was a tremendous contributor. She was the AVCA National Player of the Year last year. They also lost another outside, Catherine Fisher. But what Jim Moore has done with this program, and not only getting back here to the postseason again, but in turning it around from where they were just 9 years ago. He's in his longest stint of his head coaching career, 9 years at Oregon, and says, I found my fit. I'm not going to leave Oregon. Like it in Eugene, like these players, loves the program he's developed. He's taken many programs and turned them around, and this is the one that he feels is the fit. 14 years prior to him being there, they had not won. Not had a winning season. Nebraska in the middle of a 4-0 run. Blocked back. Blocked again. Overpass. Pounded by Polk. Rolfson with 14 kills now in the match. 23-17, and Nebraska starting to run away here late in set number 3. Loader again. 5-0 Nebraska run, ended there by Serena Warner. Finley now into the game for the Ducks. Back to serve is Lauren Plum, the setter. So Plum will be operating out of the back row. 3 hitters in front. Outside Rolfson. Right into a tough block. Finley off the bench and puts it down. Nebraska still 2 away and 4 in front of Oregon. Trying to wrap this up. They won set 1, 25-22. They won the second 25-19. Trying to make it a sweep here in round 2. Pushed outside. Rolfson again. Good dig and in. That was a tough ball to get to for Brenner, and she got a hand on it and saved it and kept it in the court. 24-19 to make it 23-20. Point one more time. Got a dig and finds the open floor. Nebraska coming off that loss, the last match of the season to Penn State, but they played very well in the loss here at home. And now have gone on a bit of a run here to start the postseason, knocking off Fairfield last night in straight sets 3-0 and trying to do the same here this evening to the Ducks, just 2 points away from the match. (23-20). Nebraska, the 8th seed nationally. You take a look at what else has gone on around the country. And surprising to see that Florida got beat by Florida State. Florida was the number 5 overall national seed. And right now, going on now, Wisconsin, the number 12 national seed, taking down California 2-0 as they're in set number 3. So another Big Ten team having success against a Pac-12 team. We're wondering about the Creighton Blue Jays. They trail. Creighton trails 2-1 to Kansas in the second round. Blue Jays knocked off Arkansas last night. And here in Lincoln, Nebraska 2 points away. Lauren Plum to serve. Ace. Miscommunication. Rolfson and Robinson. Oregon back to within 2. After going on quite the run, 5-0 run. That time, Katie Rolfson from the right side. And that gives Nebraska match point. Nebraska looking for the sweep. This would secure a spot in the regionals next week. Which, oh, by the way, are right back here. And on the slide, Brenner with the kill. Brenner's been big tonight. That's her 14th kill. Now down by 2. Not done yet. Match point number 2 for Nebraska. Good pass. Paul Miller pushes outside. Robinson kept alive. Brenner out of the back row. Tried the angle. No touch. It's long. Set and match Nebraska. Huskers move on to the NCAA tournament. So the Huskers have put on quite a show here in Lincoln in round number 1 and 2, and now they can look forward to next weekend and the regionals, as Texas will come calling to the Bob Devaney Sports Center. Of course, Nebraska would face the winner of tonight's San Diego-Arizona match. So the winner of San Diego-Arizona will also be coming to Lincoln. So the three of the 4 regional teams are Nebraska, American, Texas, and the winner of Arizona-San Diego. Nebraska would face the winner of San Diego and Arizona. Kathy Wieskamp down on the floor with the head coach. Let's go down to Kathy.
Congratulations, Coach. The team went out tonight and played just...
I can't hear where you're saying.
The team went out tonight and executed their game plan, it appears. They came out very confident.
Yeah, we did. We prepared hard for Oregon because we figured we were going to play them, and you can see they run hitters all over. So, you know, last year we had to play Washington and then play them. They're a hard team to play if you don't have a chance to prepare. So our kids did a great job, and they burned us a couple times, but we got a lot of blocks tonight and a lot of digs, so I was really pleased with our defensive effort.
This sets up the opportunity in the next phase to match back up with Texas. Preparing, I know, one at a time, but again, the Big 12 matchup, the stage is set.
Kathy, you're a coach. You know it's one at a time. We got a lot of work to do, but this is going to give us a lot of confidence, and you know, our crowd was awesome tonight, and our kids feed off of that, and so I'm just really happy. We got some kids that are growing up right now. You know, these freshmen are growing up, and they were a little shaky last night. They got a little shaky at times tonight, but they studied out, so this is good to see.
Talk about, again, if one of your freshmen, Katie Rolfson, had a tremendous night.
Yeah, she did. She's, you know, she's played at a very high level for the last 2 months, and the Big Ten knows that. Now Oregon knows that, and you know, but we were pretty balanced tonight. It was good to see our middle step up too.
One final question: what does it mean to be back here in Devaney for the next phase?
Well, people don't realize when you're hosting a regional and when you're sold out, it means it's already sold out. So there's a lot of pressure on us to get into that regional. So people don't realize it's great to be home. There's so much pressure to get there. I think now that we're there, a big ton of weight just got lifted off of us. So it's going to be fun, and we're going to go for it.
Well, congratulations and thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thanks very much, Coach, for joining us. That's John Cook with Kathy Wieskamp. Appreciate John spending a few minutes with us after Nebraska's big sweep tonight over Oregon. And for more on that, why don't we go down and chat with Brooke Delano. She's with our general manager, Mark Leonard.
Thank you, Larry. We're back here with Brooke Delano. What a great match for this regional championship.
That was awesome. You know, there was a lot on the line tonight. I mean, last year we lost to Oregon to end the season, and these girls laid it all out there tonight, so they did really well.
What's it going to take for them to get to Seattle, do you think?
You know, after first and second rounds, once you start getting to regionals and Final Fours, that's where the big girls play. And technically wise, there's not one thing that you're going to learn right overnight and be able to apply that for the last 2 weeks of the season. But mentally, there's some good teams left, and great plays are going to be made. So as long as mentally, if the Huskers can snap back, next point, stay in the game, I have a lot of faith in them.
Well, NET Sports is proud to present the women's volleyball on NET. It's a unique proposition. We don't have very many public broadcast stations that carry anywhere near the amount of sports that NET does. When we say if we didn't do it, no one else would, it's true. And we want to remind the fans that their support is what helps to make the coverage of Husker volleyball and Husker sports possible on NET. So when you were growing up, you watched us a lot, right? What would you tell someone tonight if they're a sports fan, a Husker sports fan, and a volleyball fan? Why should they become a member?
Just because, like I said earlier, and I'll touch it again, you don't only get to watch the game and many different sports, but you get to meet the personalities, meet the Huskers, meet the Blue Jays, and meet anybody else that's all around and with Husker volleyball. So become a member. We're spoiled here locally because we don't have professional sports, and so love your Huskers, eat them up. So become a member, and NET, you guys are awesome.
How good a job do we do covering volleyball?
Honestly, I have, when I was playing, you guys do an awesome job. And not only do you guys do a great job, but the people who work for NET are unreal. I still go by the NET semi and have to knock in and walk in and say hello just because you guys are awesome.
Well, it takes a lot of energy to put these on, and it is membership support that lets us know that we are serving you in a way you want us to serve you, because this is your public television network, NET. We had a lot of fun tonight. We look forward to many more women's volleyball games on NET. The growth in interest in women's sports in general. When I was growing up, women's sports weren't on television. They weren't. I mean, in that sense, we're blessed to even be on television, but now it's everywhere. You're in it's everywhere. It is everywhere. Well, we've had a great time at the Devaney Center, so we will be back at the Devaney Center in just a couple of minutes, so stay tuned. But now's the chance to go to your phone and become a supporter.